We get any more? Maybe wrap one up?
Well, I wanted to bring the one that kind of spawned this whole segment together, just to kind of revisit it one more time, and it's the Ticketmaster fiasco with Verified Fan, because I keep looking for tickets for upcoming shows, and I'm starting to see that ticket prices are starting to fluctuate. And these ticket prices, they don't fluctuate on an individual basis like a Verified Fan. Like, you know what, I'm going to give someone a break and charge face value. They all kind of come down together and go up and down. Obviously based on supply and demand, right?
Yep.
And the more I investigate the Ticketmaster app, I start to realize different things. So lately I've been buying tickets for certain things, or at least looking at tickets, and they're very much like any search engine, really, like Google, right? You know, do you still want these? We saw that you were looking at these.
Yep.
Or like advertisements start popping up like, hey, you know, this is something it looked like you were interested in. So these features are starting to pop up now on top of the supply and demand fluctuation in ticket prices in unison, like literally like everyone's marking it down by $10, which doesn't make sense. It makes no sense at all. And I kind of equate it to the Robinhood app, where they're literally just watching you and they're selling your data. And they're like, this many people are thinking about buying this ticket, but they're not pulling the trigger. So, you know, in 72 hours, let's lower the price another $15 and just see if people start buying. If not, we'll collectively lower the ticket even more. If there's high demand, Verified Fan tickets, like $1,500 for this ticket. Yeah, right. You know, so I think what Ticketmaster is ultimately doing is just taking advantage of the situation and kind of reel it back to the whole conspiracy thing. With big business, everyone knows that, you know, tying it back to the pandemic, they all call it the plandemic, right? Because people on the top in big business have kind of had the heads up before this all happened and were planning accordingly. And this kind of fits into that, just because, you know, they've used all this downtime to put new infrastructure into their whole system and roll out this new Ticketmaster app, the verified thing, whether it's real or not. We all kind of know that it's not. And just going above and beyond in terms of capacity for the said shows. You know, now virtual. Now you get a virtual ticket on top of the capacity. So like they're tripling their capacity numbers in venue. So yeah, just to reel it back to Ticketmaster, they're the ultimate conspiracy theory, because everything they're doing is just shady, but also very obvious if you're paying attention. And if you're on the app, you'll start to see these things I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean, if the in unison thing is real, like if that's not just like a conspiracy of its own, if that's real, then yeah, it's. I think that exposes it, and I think you'd have to be a real nerd to pick that up, which I think you are, Nate. So kudos to you. But like, I think for me, what this highlights is like data is king, which we all know. But
yeah,
all these companies have you in segments. It's like, who's on the cusp of buying, who's just browsing, who do we need to put the full court press on? And once they know that, like, how long have you been, they know how long you've been looking at those Limp Bizkit tickets at the NH Pavilion or whatever. Like, it's crazy. And like, once they know what your like propensity to spend is too, like, ooh, all bets are off. Like, they'll know that, hey, if I can get a ticket for $49, I'm going to go see Durst. Like, that's scary.
Or like they know your spending habits.
Yeah.
Okay, this person, if it's a band they've said they've liked or band they've paid for tickets for in the past, let's make sure they get that pre-sale email.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
that type of thing. Or let's hit them, hey, tickets go on sale at 10 a.m., 2 hours before. And then again at 10 a.m. You get they're on sale now. Like, why aren't you buying them yet? So, yeah, Ticketmaster, among others, it's not just them, but they've been gaming that system for a very long time. And bringing it back to this, Nate, it's what we started talking about a couple episodes back, probably 7 or 8 episodes back. This is totally what's happening. They own all those verified seats that were bought, put on their marketplace, and then able to fluctuate prices. Like, the price was set. It was $49.99 or whatever, $49 even, and now we own it. We bought it, sold it back to ourselves, putting it on for, these seats are the good ones. They're $1,700. These seats are the bad ones. They're $300, as they did with MGK, right? So it makes me sick, especially when it's something that like you never had a chance to buy a ticket for to begin with. That's why when stuff goes on sale, at least around here, I'm just snapping them up early so that I'm paying, face for them for the most part, and then all the garbage fees online.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, there's not even really many options to buy tickets in person anymore. You go to the venue and they're like, no, online sales only. And you're like, oh, great. Because I'm already locked down at this point. Another thing is once you do buy tickets, I don't know if this has happened to you guys recently on Ticketmaster/Live Nation, but you'll buy the ticket, you'll get the confirmation, great. And then you'll get like a 15-step process before you can click out. At least this is what happened to me recently, where it's like, hey, sign up for, a year for SiriusXM. Hey, you get Freshly for a year. Hey, you get this. And you're like, I just want to fucking get out. Like, I don't want any of this shit.
Well, they're trying to catch you slipping though. And you think you're opting out, but you signed up for it.
Yeah, just because you clicked it. Yeah, just that impression.
I mean,
sends that signal
I got
to the
3 months
company.
of Sirius for free and took it. And I know when the date is, and I will cancel it. But not a lot of people will. They'll be like, "Oh shit, they charged me. They got my $15." And even if that happens, a couple hundred times, maybe even more than that, or you forget about it. You're somebody that doesn't pay much attention to it, has the money to forget about it. Holy shit.
Yeah, a lot of people forget. And just to compare it to another platform, another company, really the only other major company in the industry is ASX. They own a venue here in San Diego, an arena, and it's so old school. You can tell they're behind the times, but it's kind of nice because it reminds me of like the old days where you choose your seats. You go on the website, it shows you all the sections that still have tickets, and then you can zero in or zoom into that section and actually pick your seats for face value, or somewhat face value. But that's just like unheard of now because Ticketmaster just puts you in a generic section and like hopefully you get in or hopefully you don't get locked out. This literally you can choose your seats. So that's, I think, specific to ASX and maybe any other independent ticket agency or ticket provider. But I thought that it was kind of cool that there are other options. They just don't own the venues or have anywhere close to the capacity. But
Right. Yeah, bashing Ticketmaster. We like to do that here.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're just calling them on their bullshit, and they've been called on their bullshit before. So I'm sure, 15 years from now, they'll owe us all money again because they did something they shouldn't have.
Well, and they didn't even pay out that money.
They never really did. Yeah. Yep.
Like I remember applying the vouchers, and they limited, I think, how many you could use.
2 per.
Yeah, so $4. Like
it cut out one of the service charges.
Yeah. Yep. And now, if you go into the portal, you can't even enter those in or find out where your vouchers are.
They're gone. They died in 2020.
Yeah, It's gone. And then the free shows were all out of state. It's like, okay, what are we doing?
Yeah. Yep. And the seats that were available were usually lawn, right? Nosebleeds.
Yep.
Yeah. Comp seats, basically.
Yeah, we ain't selling these, so fill the room, please. So the artist comes back. That's basically what it is.
Yeah.